Hi there, it's Xander from the Celtic Forever podcast. If you would like to win a framed Celtic Legends printout, all you have to do is guess who will score the first goal in the Celtic versus Hibs game on Saturday. Whether it's a Hibs player or a Celtic player that scores the goal, all we're looking for is the exact time. For example, 15 minutes 20 seconds. So leave your time in the comments, and whoever is the closest, they will win the framed printout. So good luck with the prize draw, and you can enter as many times as you like. Please hit like and subscribe. Thank you.
Boys are on the march again. It's on the road we go. From the Harleys to Batagli and on to Portugal. 'Cause we're Celtic forever. The boys in green and white. Celtic forever.
There's O'Reilly, good build up by Celtic, wide right of the Atletico box. It's with Kyogo, rolls it to the edge of the area for O'Reilly, stabs it through, Kyogo's in, he scored! What a start for the Scottish champions! And of course it's Kyogo Furuhashi that sends this place wild with the delight! A fabulous goal from Celtic, the build up was exquisite, and Kyogo Furuhashi saw the whites of Jan Oblak's eyes and just dinked it into the far corner of the net. It is Celtic 1, Atletico Madrid 0.
Matt O'Reilly, step inside.
Chance, lovely ball in behind, left hand side of the box. Maida across, missed by Witsel, breaks to Palma, winds up the shot and scores! Well, that's about blowing the roof off here at Celtic Park. Luis Palma with a special moment for Celtic. Right hand side of the box from Maida's cross. Witsel's diving header made no contact, and it broke to Palma, who leathers it past a world-class goalkeeper in Jan Oblak into the far corner. And Celtic have their lead back. They have their Champions League back. It is Celtic 2, Atletico 1. Chance, in fact, there is not going to be a last chance. It's a point apiece here in Group E. Diego Simeone was animated from the first minute to the last, exchange handshakes with Brendan Rodgers. Celtic at least off the mark in Champions League Group E tonight. Their first point of the campaign.
Hello and a warm welcome to the Celtic Forever podcast. John and I are here to talk about last night's game. Celtic 2, Atletico Madrid 2. Celtic are pegged back twice. A hard-fought point at Celtic Park. Did you watch the game last night, John? I take it you watched the game.
I sure did, Xander,
It was hard-fought, yeah. There was a lot of yellow cards and a red card in the game. It was, it wasn't as similar to the 1970s game, but there was a lot of fouls and hard tackles in that game.
Aye. I was expecting him to come out with fighting for every ball. They did that at Atletico Madrid. I fully expected it. That's exactly the kind of performance I expected for them. But the performance for Celtic, I thought in the first half was top notch.
Yeah,
First half, they were fantastic,
playing nice football just now, Celtic. I think it's just tiredness got to them in the end. Obviously, goal from Kyogo, then Griezmann equaliser, then Palma puts his ahead again, and then another equaliser from Morata. That was the goals in the game, and obviously Rodrigo was sent off with 8 minutes to go in the game as well. So we'll go through some points in the game, John. Early in the game, 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes gone, Celtic get their goal. A beautiful pass from Matt O'Reilly right through to Kyogo, and he slots it home to make it Celtic 1, Atletico 0. The stadium's going wild at that point, John.
Aye. That was a lovely goal, wasn't it? It was absolute class. The wee 1-2s, the interchanging passes. Absolutely amazing. Stunning finish, great goal. And the quickest goal of the Champions League so far this season as well.
Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah, that was a lovely goal. It was well worked, beautiful interlinking, and a lovely through ball from Matt O'Reilly straight to Kyogo's toes, and he chips it round the keeper to make it 1-0 to Celtic. So at that point, I'm thinking it's early, you know. How can we hold out to? How long can we hold out onto this lead? I was more or less thinking. Uh, then we get to the 6th minute and Hatate's off with a hamstring injury. So within a couple of minutes of going into the lead, we lose one of our most talented players to a hamstring injury. So Bernardo comes on for Hatate. You know, he settles into the game quite well, but losing Hatate, that was a blow, John.
Aye, massive blow that, Xander. To me, he's their best player, Hatate. I mean, probably Carter Vickers, McGregor, probably our 3 top players, maybe O'Reilly as well, you could add to that. But Hatate, technically, our best player, I would say. I was absolutely gutted seeing him coming off. Look, he was more gutted than what I would ever be, of course. You could see it in him. But losing him that early in the game, do you think that was a game changer? I think it kind of killed Celtic's plans because we know how good Hatate is.
Oh, aye. It's, you know, as I say, one of the best players we've got in the team, and he's off within 6 minutes of the game starting. And it's obviously going to affect the team. But as I say, I thought Bernardo, when he came on, he did well. He put in some nice tackles and some nice passes of the ball. So he done okay. But, you know, you'd rather it was Hatate on the park at that point. So he's off. He's off the park with a hamstring. How long do you think he'll be out for, John? It's normally 3 to 4 weeks with these things, isn't it?
Oh, God knows. I mean, I've not heard anything yet. Similar to another game Celtic played this season, Hatate went off really early in the game. You mind that? I can't mind who it was against, mind you, but Hatate was off in like 3 minutes of the game or something like that, injured. I think he just came back at the time. But I don't know. Look, let's hope it's not as bad as what we think, and he's back as soon as possible because we really need him in the team. So it looks like Turnbull's dropped for the team now, doesn't it? It looks like Bernardo's the preferred cover for him.
Yeah, it looks like it. That's right. Yeah, it was. I didn't know if Turnbull was on the bench last night. I didn't check the subs. But we were talking about that on the preview podcast, John, how weak the bench is. And it proved last night, did it not?
Aye. Well, like you said, I thought Bernardo did okay, actually. But he's no Hatate, is he?
Now look at the subs we brought on. It was Forrest, Bernardo, and who was the other substitute? Nat Phillips. You know, there's no strength and depth on that bench as far as I'm concerned.
No, absolutely. I totally agree with you. I'd love to have seen Awata coming on in place of Hatate, actually. But Brendan sees the players every day in training. He knows better than what we'll ever know. Bernardo's obviously doing something right in training. So he's keeping Turnbull out of the team and he's keeping Awata out of the team for that game anyway.
You know, we have half an hour to go. We were needing legs in that team, and there was nobody there that we could bring on to give the team some legs. I mean, when you're relying on James Forrest, who hasn't got any legs anymore, you know, that tells you everything about the strength of our bench. So anyway, we'll move on. 16 minutes, Hart pulls off a save from Griezmann. Half decent save, tips it round the post. And then we get to their equaliser in the 25th minute, John, a penalty. A foul from Greg Taylor, very soft foul, but it was a foul. Hart saves it onto the post, and the rebound falls straight to Griezmann's toe and it taps into the net. What do you think of the penalty decision, John?
I thought it was very soft. I thought it was very, very soft. Was it a penalty though? Greg Taylor, he's obviously deliberately kicked the boy.
Do you know what it was similar to? When Lagerbielke was fouled against the Rangers, and the goal was disallowed because of that, it was the exact same sort of foul. So if they've given it there, they're going to give it in the Champions League, aren't they?
Aye, look, it was a soft penalty, but you make contact in the box, the ref's going to point to the spot straight away. I mean, they couldn't wait to point to the spot, really, could they?
That's right. There wasn't. I thought about it. It was within a split second. His hands pointing to that penalty spot, and I thought it was soft as well. But in the Champions League, John, you're going to get punished for the type of tackles inside the box.
Aye, it's a very soft penalty. But I mean, if that was given for Celtic, you wouldn't be complaining, would you? But I can see why the rest pointed to the spot. Tangle of legs, down it goes. Taylor's not intentionally done anything, of course, but that's the way it is. Hey ho, it's done. They get the penalty. Big Joe Hart was very unlucky. Seen him pointing to the way he wanted the ball to go. and Griezmann hits it that way. Joe Hart saves it, straight back out to him. Couldn't have felt to a better place, could it? Right to his toe.
No. Right to his toe when nobody near him.
Aye. So,
Yeah, so he
there you
slams
go.
it into the net to make it 1-each, John, and then we go into the lead again. Lovely strike for low-driven shot for Parma. And some nice play before that, leading up to the goal. But Parma slots his shot away, lovely. Hard-driven, low shot, past the goalkeeper by 2 defenders as well. 2-1 Celtic. Everybody's loving it. The crowd's loving it. Yeah, it was nice to go in the lead again, John. That was the 28th minute. Lovely finish for Parma then. For Parma there, John.
I thought it was a stunning finish for Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's got that way that he's got a kind of unconventional shot on him, isn't he, Palmer, when you see him hitting a shot? Like a wee pitching wedge, kind of. He doesn't put a lot of lift in, back lifting his legs. He doesn't like take a big swing at it. It's just like a wee jab kind of thing. Outside of the foot kind of shot. What a stunning finish. Absolutely stunning. The power he gets in it for the little lift that he gives it.
Yeah, it was a beautiful finish, John. It was nice finish. Anyway, it puts us into the lead, 2-1 again. Everybody's happy again. So till we get to the 31st minute, Carter Vickers is booked for it could have been worse than a yellow card, from being honest, John. He stamps basically on his ankle, eh? That was a yellow card for Vickers, but do you think that could have been a red?
Nah, I don't think that was a red, Xander. I mean, obviously, I'm going to show bias being a Celtic fan, but you really think it could have been a red? I don't think so. I think it was
It's just
a yellow.
because he was nowhere near the ball, wasn't he? And then he's caught him late, and he's basically, put a bad tackle on his ankle, I thought. But obviously, there's VAR there, so they don't think it's a red or anything like that. It's a yellow card. The yellow card's given. Carter Vickers has to be careful the rest of the game. Then we go to the 34th minute, and Rodrigo was also yellow carded, so we've got a yellow card apiece at that point. Then we got the 40th minute, just before half time. Hermoso's goals disallowed for offside. That was definitely offside, John. That was not much in it, though.
No, when it showed you the replay, it was the width of a knee or something like that, wasn't it? Nothing in it at all, but look, they got it right, didn't it? It was the correct call. It was offside. Doesn't matter if it's a knee or a hair on your knee. He's offside.
It was very close. We were lucky there. I thought we got away with one there. So the goals disallowed. Approaching half time, still 2-1 ahead. Half time whistle goes. We go into the half time break, 2-1 in the lead. How did you feel at that point, John?
Well, what I was thinking at that point was, if we continue playing like that in the second half, it's in the bag. We'll beat them. Because they looked beat. They actually looked beat. All right, they still looked a wee bit dangerous in the first half. You could see how slick they were. The passing was crispy. It was slick.
Yeah.
They're a highly, highly dangerous team. But Celtic looked comfortable. They were coping with it well. Now, I was thinking, if we play like that in the second half, this game's in the bag. I fancied us to go in and get another one, but a different Celtic showed up in the second half.
Yeah, it was a different Celtic. We looked a wee bit tired, if I'm being honest with you. Even as early as their goal, 54 minutes to go to the equaliser. It was a nice one header for Morata, actually. But it was the build up to that. The ball breaks towards Greg Taylor. Do you think he could have cut that ball out, John? He just sort of stood there and watched it, didn't he?
Aye, Taylor was doing a lot of ball watching last night. It was look, I'm not going to go on Greg Taylor's case, but I don't think he had a great game last night at all. I think he had a nice pass through to O'Reilly to set up the first goal, of course, but look, he was found wanting last night, if you ask me, Greg Taylor. He didn't have a great game.
No, he could have cut that out and they wouldn't have got the equaliser, but he didn't cut it out. The cross comes in to the back post. A nice cross and a nice header, actually. Nice finish, made it
Nice finish.
Morata, yeah.
Very Larson-esque, wasn't it?
Aye, it was nice. He had to actually direct the header for an angle. It was a lovely finish, actually. It was a lovely header. It reminds me of when I used to play.
Aye, I can see the similarities.
So this By this point, you're talking about half an hour to go. Half an hour to go. Celtic are looking tired by this point, John, very leggy. And then that's when I'm going to bring up the point of this playing on the late on Sunday afternoon, and they play on Saturday afternoon. So they've got that full day's extra rest. And it showed there, John. I thought it showed last night. What do you think?
Yeah, well, absolutely it should. It was, like I says, that first half I was delighted with it. And like I says, I thought if we could continue like that in the second half, it's in the bag. But they came out and it looked like they just woke up out of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it was totally different. It was very laboured. They were miles off the ball. They weren't closing down. 50-50s were getting lost. They were just losing the midfield battle, losing it out of the park. Miles after their players, miles after them. So, a very laboured performance for Celtic in the second half.
Yeah, it was totally different for the first half, but there's no way we could have kept that pressure and that pace up for the full game. No way, because you've got to remember you're up against a world-class side there, John. We looked tired. We looked very tired. We looked so tired. You were praying for substitutes to come on, and then the first substitute that comes on, well, apart from obviously Nat Phillips, but the first substitute that comes on is James Forrest. That's who we're relying on to beat Atletico Madrid. And nothing against James Forrest, but he just doesn't have the legs anymore. And he did have a wee chance that he blazed over the bar, but that was really all he done when he came on. Then we get to the 82nd minute, John, the red card for Rodrigo. If you're thinking then, 10 minutes to go plus an injury time, there's maybe a wee chance we can sneak a wee winner here. Were you thinking the same?
I wasn't at the same time. I was thinking we looked too tired to get a winner. Yeah, I was right.
Yeah,
the team just looked knackered the whole second half, to be honest with you. Maybe the first 5-10 minutes in the second half they were kind of okay, but they didn't look like scoring, to be honest with you, Xander. To me, Celtic didn't look like scoring in the second half. Like he says, that James Forrest chance he had, it was just one of the ones, the ball's getting away from him, he's slipping as he's hitting it kind of thing. You just knew that wasn't going anywhere. As soon as it just came in contact, but you just knew it wasn't going anywhere. I didn't think we threatened at all in the second half. Nat Phillips, of course, he's hit 2 balls right out the park.
That's right.
He's hitting a ball for Maeda to chase. Maeda's not going to get onto that after the shift he's put in the first half.
No.
Right out the park.
Even if he didn't put that shift in, he still wouldn't have got to it because it was just a terrible ball.
He done it right out the park, just playing it down the line, right out for a goal kick. Far too much pace on them.
Yeah. And I noticed that Brendan went to a back three at one point in the game. What did you think of that, John? Scales, Carter Vickers and Nat Phillips set 3 centre-backs, back 3.
He's also tried to change the system a wee bit, but it didn't work, did it?
Do you think he changed it just to try and hold on to the draw at that point? Or do you think, obviously they were attacking us all through the second half, so he just tried to shoot up the defence a wee bit?
I think so, aye. I mean, he's brought Phillips on. I think Phillips did okay in a defensive sense.
Aye, so they are.
But his forward passing was really bad, really, really poor. Defensively, he did okay. So I think maybe did that. He's made the substitute to kind of make us a bit more solid defensively, and I think we defended well.
I think Scales had another blinder last night, John.
Scales for start to finish, man of the match. Celtic's man of the match anyway. He was outstanding for start to finish, wasn't he? Yet again. Yeah,
he was outstanding. The guy kind of put a foot wrong just now. He's with Carter Vickers in there beside him. The two of them are solid in defence. Well, we've got a solid defence just now. But I thought the fullbacks, Johnston and Taylor, were, let the defence down last night. No, let them down, but you know what I mean. They didn't put in the kind of performances that they normally put in. That's what I would say.
Well, they're up against superior quality, though, aren't they? It's different when you're up against these world-class players. It's a test for the players, isn't it? Testing themselves against players like this. So it's kind of, it gives them a guide of where they need to be, to compete in the Champions League.
Yeah.
So,
but the rest of Yeah, it's experience, but the rest of the team are up against these quality players as well, and they all done really well. I just thought the Johnston and Taylor, they just weren't quite at the same level as the rest of the team. But we said on the preview podcast that everybody had to have a 10 out of 10, and no everybody had a 10 out of 10. But it was a battling performance. We go at the point. It's a great point. It's first point on the board as well. So the full-time whistle goes. How did you feel at full-time, John? Were you happy? Were you annoyed? What was your feelings?
I was neither up nor down, to be honest with you, Xander. It was one of the ones you just knew. I just had that feeling all the way through that game. Celtic weren't going to win it. But so when it finished 2-2, I thought it's no more than I expected. I thought the game merited the scoreline. I think 2-2 was a fair result. Celtic kind of controlled the first half, even though they looked dangerous. But Madrid were fantastic in the second half, I thought. So, peachy, a half a piece, I would say. 2-2 being the probably the correct result.
Yeah. I just thought we could have, if we had a wee bit more legs, we could have went on and won that game, I thought. But through this full conversation, you've got to bear in mind what you're up against, John. They're a multi-million-pound team, top class, world-class players littered throughout their entire team, and we come out of there with a point. So, I'm quite happy with the point. Gets us on the board as well. If we can get a point away at Athletico, and I know we're asking for a lot there, but if you can get a point, and then a point at your next away game, and then beat Feyenoord, you're into the UEFA Cup. You're into the knockout stage of the UEFA Cup. So all's not lost as far as I'm concerned. So what did you make of Simeone refusing to shake, well, not refusing, but hesitant to shake Brendan Rodgers' hand at the end?
The guy's just an idiot. Look, I don't want to speak kind of unprofessionally about a guy that acted unprofessionally, but he just acted like a complete idiot, didn't he?
Aye.
I mean, Brendan Rodgers, a total gentleman. He's no happy with his team performance, but he goes up, taps the guy in the shoulder, offers his hand, and he just slaps it and runs up the tunnel. What kind of behaviour is that for a Champions League manager?
Yeah, I was watching some of the highlights of the other games last night, and the two sets of managers in every game, they're all cuddling each other, and they're, very professional and happy to see each other. And then you get him last night, Simeone, what a clown, honestly, But hey, that's his team played the same way he performed last night, if you know what I mean. Going in with the hard tackles and the red cards and everything else. So yeah, that's a bit more to expect for a guy like Simeone, John.
But listen, I don't know. A guy that turns up, he looks like a bus mattress in a suit, and then acts like a wee thug. You know what I mean? It's just the guy's just the whole game he's at the side of the park shouting and bawling and all that, and I don't know. I really don't know why a manager, a team like that, world class players, they haven't got a world class manager, have they?
No.
What do you think Brendan Rodgers should do in the return? They shouldn't even walk up. See, even the Atletico Madrid players, they didn't want to shake Celtic players' hands either.
No, they didn't. No, I noticed that.
So,
and was it?
Did the grudge continue for 1974? Does he try to make it dramatic? Try to get in the headlines? No, look at us, we're all dramatic. Full of drama, we're a drama team. I don't know what their game is. Just very, very unprofessional. Their whole team at the end was very unprofessional, I thought.
Yeah, obviously Brendan Rodgers, he's not going to do that. He'll still try and shake his hand in the return leg. Brendan Rodgers is just a different class of man, really. But, I noticed that with what you were saying about the players. They didn't approach any of the Celtic players after the game. So, they didn't want to shake their hands. So that's fair enough. That's up to them, I suppose, if that's the way they want to behave. So I was looking at it, John, after the game last night with Hatate going off injured. These injuries are beginning to add up slightly, We've got Home out injured, Abada out injured, Hatate out injured, and I think Rocky's still out injured, is he? Is he still out injured?
Well, he's back in training, so that's a good sign. But What do you think the replacement for Hatate is going to be? Do you think it should be Iwata? Do you think Bernardo deserves his place after seeing his performance last night?
I'd give Bernardo a chance, but I think they're all going to get a chance at it. I think depending on the game, who it is we're playing, whether it's home or away, it might be Bernardo, it might be Turnbull, might be Iwata. I don't think there'll be any one player that will get that position while he's out injured. Because I've got a wee feeling he's going to be out for a good few weeks, Hatate. It looked like that the player himself, he knew it was going to be a sort of longer term hamstring injury.
Aye. He looked very upset, didn't he, Hatate? But we're starting to notice that with Hatate, he's very injury prone, isn't he?
He picks up a lot of knocks, yeah. Yeah, he's as you said at the start of the podcast, there was another game he went off early, and he was at the start of the season, he was out for a few weeks as well, was he not?
Yeah, that's it. 3 minutes he was on the park. I wish I could remember who that was against, but he definitely went off really early in the game. Listen, Hatate goes off. It's his hamstring injury. Do you think he was kicked forcing that hamstring injury? Because when it showed you, when he went down, he was kicked in the back of the leg as well.
It was a tackle. It was a tackle that caused it. Of course it was. Yeah, it was a tackle that caused it.
Nothing was given for that.
No. But it's going to be a miss. Up next we've got Hibs at Easter Road, which isn't going to be it's going to be another tough game. That's not going to be a walk in the park. So hopefully the players have got plenty of time to recover for that game on Sunday, but we'll get to that in a wee minute. Do you want to do a individual player scoring, John?
We'll just do this quickly then. Joe Hart, I thought he had a good game. I think he kept us in it a few times. I'll give Joe a 7.
Yeah, he was unlucky with the penalty as well, actually. Yeah. 7.5 for me for Joe.
Carter Vickers. Carter Vickers, I'm just make him quick. He missed out at the back post for the equaliser, didn't he? The second equaliser. 7 for Carter Vickers as well.
Yeah, 7.5 again for me. I thought he was solid at the back there. There's not much you could have. It was pacing the ball. It was worked across. It was.
No. I'm not blaming him for it. That's the thing that stood out for me. His only kind of mistake that he made. It wasn't really a mistake, was it? But I don't know. 7 out of 10 for Big Carter Vickers.
7.5, and I've gave Scales 9 out of 10.
I'm the same, Xander. I thought Scales was outstanding last night. He had one wee mishap and he made up for it. He still made up for that after it. So 9 out of 10 for Scales.
Yeah. Johnson, I'll give a 6. Taylor, I'll give a 5.5. What do you think, John?
Johnson 6, Taylor 6.
Right. Callum McGregor 7. Tate goes off injured, so you can't really score him. So Bernardo, I'll give a 7. And who's the other one? Matt Riley, I'll give an 8.
Callum McGregor a 6. Bernardo a 6. Matt Riley, he looked dead in his feet the second half. 6.5.
All right. So maybe I'm giving him slightly higher points because it was a good point that we earned against a top class team. So I know they looked dead in their feet the second half, but just talking about that, do you think the fitness of the players isn't what it should be, or do you think they just put everything in the first half?
There could be a number of things causing that. It could be that they played on Sunday against Hearts. It was a later kick-off as well. And it's going to be the same this weekend. We're playing Saturday, so I don't know. I don't know if it's just too many games for the players or whatever. Like I say to you, do you think we would rest players against Hearts? We didn't do that. I don't know, Xander. They just looked a bit. Was it Atletico Madrid that were making them look tired? I don't know. They just looked knackered in the second half. I don't know what the cause of it was, but we'll see if we rest players this week.
Yeah.
But we'll do this week because the next game against Athletico is the 7th of November.
Mm-hmm. Aye. All right, mate. 7.5, sorry, for Parma, 7 for Kyogo, and 8 for Maeda.
I agree with you with Maeda. He was tireless, wasn't he? I don't know if he
Yeah.
gets energy for it, but still Maeda. Definitely an 8 for me for Maeda. Palmer,
Yeah.
I thought, kind of faded in the second half. His goal was outstanding. I'm going to give him a 7.5. 8 for Kyogo for the effort he put in.
Yeah. The whole team were brilliant, especially the first half. And then they done what they had to do in the second half as well. It was more a defensive performance in the second half. So we got the point, John. I was happy. I wasn't even expecting a point, if I'm going to be totally honest. I know I said 2-1 Celtic to win the game, but you got to bear in mind what you're up against. To come out of there with a point, I'm quite happy with that. It gives us a chance to qualify for Europa League, I think.
Aye. No, I admire your optimism, but I kind of see getting a point in their run. I kind of see it. But like I keep saying, it's 11 against 11, innit? I was pessimistic last night. I couldn't see us getting anything out of it last night either, to be honest with you, Xander. But we got a point. I'm more than happy with a point. I thought that was the correct score. But we'll see what happens in their stadium. But I kept thinking about that Simeone doing that to Brendan last night. That really annoyed me. That a gentleman like him, is treating people like that, and he's obviously told his team to act the same way.
Yeah. There's obviously still a grudge here between the two clubs. It's clear to see, that's no disappeared over the years. That's still ongoing. But what we'll do, John, we'll park that there. We move on. We're on the board. We've got our first point on the board, and we'll have a wee quick chat about the game on Saturday against Hibs. Another away game, as you say. That's our 4th away game in 5 SPL games. Doesn't get much tougher. Easter Roads. How do you think that one's going to go?
Just before I even mention how it's going to go, I'll make a wee comment on the condition of Celtic Park last night. The pitch was immaculate, like a billiard table, and it's no surprise because it's hardly been played on, has it?
That's true, actually.
You know what I mean, Xander?
Aye, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah, one game at home in 5. That's unbelievable when you put these stats together like that. But we're away again. We're away on Saturday. It's a 3:00 kickoff. It's not on the telly. Hibs just been pumped off them, obviously. So it's going to be a different performance with them, isn't it? You're going to see a different Hibs on Saturday.
Aye, you definitely do. Their manager will be demanding a performance for them after their wee sleep against Rangers at Ibrox. But it's going to be a different game. It always is. If we go to Edinburgh against Hibs or Hearts, blood and thunder for 90 minutes. Hearts failed. Let's hope Hibs fail as well. In the league, we're on fire right now. I think the players will be up for it. I think we'll definitely be up for it.
Sorry, my only concern is the effort we put in last night, especially that first half, and then all the effort we put in the second half. Defending, I think, hopefully the players get enough rest for the game on Saturday. Brendan's got the team playing brilliant. That's what I will say. He's got them playing slick, fluent, and lovely passing. Beautiful football just now, And if we can take that into Easter Road, I don't see there being a problem.
Well, exactly. Do it. Look, he might rest a couple of players. He's not going to rest Callum McGregor, right? He's going to start. Aureli's going to start. A couple of players. I think he might make a couple of changes for Saturday. I don't know who yet, but I just get a feeling he's going to make a couple of changes for this weekend.
I don't think he's going to make any changes apart from the enforced ones. Obviously, Hatate. I think it will still be the same team. Well, we'll go through that in the preview podcast for the game on Saturday anyway, but I think it'll be the same team, John, apart from the injuries that we've got. And Kyogo, he looks as though he's limping at the end of the game as well. Did you know?
Aye. Look, Kyogo put in more effort than anybody probably on the park. He never stopped running, him and Maeda. But Maeda looks like he hasn't broke a sweat. I don't know where he gets that. Where does he get that energy from?
I don't know. I love him when he's in the team. No, he's the effort that guy puts in. It's if every player could do that, if every player could do that,
Listen,
you would.
if we had 10 Maedas in playing in the park last night, we'd have beat them comfortably. If every player had that energy, But look,
Yeah.
fair play to other players. They put in their shift. They did what they had to do in the first half, didn't they?
Yeah.
Really tired in the second half. Maybe it was a bad idea ending the game, at half time. And I'm sure the players were sitting. I wish that didn't end because we were playing well. And they were playing well. Celtic were one. They needed one more. If it was 3-1 at half time, I think we'd have won it. But look, it wasn't to be. 2 each was a fair result, I think.
Yeah. Well done to Celtic last night. Good point. A really good point. Take it all day against a world-class team. And we've got Hibs up next on Saturday, and we'll do a wee preview podcast on Friday. You up for that, John?
Aye, of course.
All right, we'll leave it there, John. Thanks for coming on again. Thanks, buddy. And we'll see you on Friday.
Okay, dokie, Zandy. So I'll speak to you later, mate.
I've been called worse, mate. I've been called a lot worse than Zandy. Hail, buddy.
Hail, mate.
Boys are on the march again.